Welcome back to Power Lunch. The stock markets have slipped. It's about a 4-point drop into the NSE Nifty, and also the Sensex is now trading up 127 points, which is off the day's highest point. But let's get across to the CEO at lunch who's joining us. We've got Shantanu Prakash on the show. Shantanu, welcome to the show. Markets have been anticipating a slowdown in expansion plans for everyone purely because of the way the environment has turned out. Are you feeling a strain by which you want to cut down the speed of your expansion?
No, actually, strangely, the current turmoil in the markets has nothing to do with Educomp's business at all. We are in the basic core education business. This is a business that is the ultimate example of a, non-cyclical, recession-proof business. We have nothing to do with the dollar-rupee exchange rate, all the oil price hikes, or the subprime crisis, or whatever have you. So our expansion plans are completely on track.
Right, I'll get into the expansion plans, but just to get a couple of things out of the way, for example, you said, the slowdown is not impacting you. During this boom period that the markets have been so far witnessing, when your stock was close to about 4,200 odd, did you sort of at any stage make, within your fundraising exercise, or find yourself in exposures to commodities for Forex in order to try and leverage on your strength to raise money?
No, well, we have no current plans to raise capital A, and B, we had no exposure at all in terms of the foreign exchange, or more than 90% of Educomp's business is domestic. We are a domestic market opportunity company, so none of the turmoil has actually impacted us at all.
Right, of course, the guidance that you put out is over 200 crores to about 300 crore rupees. Do you stand on track to achieve that based on what has become this environmental pressure, economic environmental pressure?
Like I was saying earlier, in the last quarter, we actually revised our guidance upwards, both for the top line as well as for the bottom line. As well as for each of our business segments, we have actually revised the guidance upwards. We are in a very special situation today. We are facing unprecedented demand for our products. The focus for education has never been greater in this country, as the latest budget is also attested to. So as far as our business is concerned, among all the turmoil that's happening, we are in a very nice position.
In the quarter ahead, what kind of rate of growth are you actually hoping to deliver in the coming quarter?
So we look at our growth on a year-on-year basis. So compared to the last fiscal, if you look at this fiscal and purely go by our guidance, our top line should grow by over 140%, and with an almost similar percentage increase in our bottom line.
Right. And you don't expect that there would be other income factor that could play a big role in this in the quarter ahead?
No, that's exactly what I said. We do not anticipate any other income issues in our P&L or a balance sheet at all.
Okay. That clarification said, getting on to the unprecedented growth, can you quantify what you mean by unprecedented growth for the company?
I mean, unprecedented from two ways, if you look at it. One is unprecedented compared to Educomp's own history in the past, and I think unprecedented if you evaluate us against a basket of other companies, in corporate India. So a growth rate of 140, 150% year on year, and Educomp has kind of achieved this growth rate, not just in this year, but if you look at our growth rate in fiscal year 06 or 07 or 05 or 06, we have shown similar rates of growth. So I think that's what I mean by unprecedented growth, both historically for Educomp as well as benchmarked against the kind of growth that corporate India is seeing today.
Right. In terms of June 2008, which is supposed to be the benchmark for your online tutorials to come on stream, what is going to be the first step in that direction, and how will that translate into a further expansion only in the online business?
Could you repeat that question? I didn't get the first part of your question.
Right. The fact that you're going to look at June 2008 as the starting point for your online tutorial business, what progress has it made so far?
Oh, you're talking about our online tutorial business? Well, we are the only online tutorial business in India, and there are a group of about 4 or 5 companies that address this space, which is domestically focused. And we see huge opportunity in India. The tutorials market in which we are making a online intervention is a market that's highly established in India. This is a multi-billion-dollar market, and the internet is going to play the crucial role in helping companies like us scale.
How have your entire set of joint ventures worked?
In India?
Joint ventures that were to an extent in this particular stream, you know, Learning.com was a joint venture. How have these actually been monetized so far?
Yeah. Okay. The monetization has already started. The theme in all of Educomp's joint ventures is how do we leverage our strengths in intellectual property. So Educomp today has one of the largest repositories of digital content, definitely in India and probably in Asia and anywhere else in the world. We have very large scale content development and creation capabilities. So all of these joint ventures that we have inked, whether it's an acquisition of Ask and Learn in Singapore or it is a joint venture with Learning.com in the US, they essentially leverage that core skill for Educomp, taking our content expertise and monetizing that in global markets.
All right, so you're looking at a sort of online business that will finally be turning around to an extent based on the capacities that you have created. But what I do need to ask you is that within this business, give yourself 12 months and talk some numbers about what this business will end up delivering, because a lot of these businesses previously, perhaps as a matter of timing, have not done too well. So that's why the market and your investors might be circumspect about it.
I don't completely agree. Well, I can't talk about guidance for next year because the company still hasn't given guidance so far. We will give guidance when we do our Q4 results. But without talking about specific numbers, each of Educomp's product lines, whether it is Smart Class, which is our digital content licensing business, whether it is ICT, which is our business in which we work with the government in a public-private partnership mode, or our teacher training business, or even our budding online business. All these businesses have delivered better than what we expected and better than what our investors expected.
All right. Thanks very much for joining us. No numbers yet from Shantanu on that one, but we'll keep chasing him. Thanks so much for joining us. Top line growth of 140% in FY08 according to Educomp.